Hey, it's Aaron, and today we're going to do an interior walkthrough in a 2025 Volkswagen Taos. It's seen a few updates this year, a couple of changes. The interior has a bunch of changes, so let's just do what we usually do and look at every button and switch. Starting at our usual spot over here on the left, on this door. Here's your mirror adjustments there, windows here, and window lock right there. Then up here you have this kind of brushed chrome. It's not really, I don't know, it's too bright to be nickel. So this brushed chrome or brushed aluminum, here's your door handle, here's your locks, and then the first of the vents right there. I like these vents. They do a lot. So they don't make nearly as much noise as you sometimes get out of small vehicles like this that have small vents. These are big vents. They don't make nearly as much noise, and you're seeing the first of the piano black in this particular interior as well. And then going down, we see the headlights here. So this is basic headlight control all the way across there. This does not have fog lamps or anything, so that's it. Down there, you can probably just see it. That's the hood release right there. Dead pedal where my foot is, and the pedals underneath there. This is the steering wheel adjuster. I don't usually show these, but sometimes you just kind of need to point it out because it is a feature. It's pretty standard at this point now for most vehicles. Anyway, this is mostly a manual vehicle, so there are a lot of manual controls, especially on the passenger side. But let's look at the steering wheel. So here's the overall. Let's start on the left. Over here is mostly cruise control stuff. So you can see you turn it on and off here, resume up there, set down here. This goes up and down with it. This is your following distance for the adaptive, and then this is lane keeping as part of that adaptive cruise. And then you have your radio volume. So your audio volume is right here. Right above that is the dongle for lighting, back and forth for brights, up and down for your signal turns, because that's the order you should use them in. And that's pretty much it. There's a button on the end, and you can see it turns the radars on and off, I think. If I recall, it's the lane keeping assist. There you go. So this is a little more advanced than that one. This is lane keeping, and this is just the alert over there. Now over here, I gotta switch hands on the camera here. Over here we have mostly driver information and infotainment controls. So you can see if I can pull it. There we go. So you can see voice command right here for telematics. It's not really telematics, but I just like that word. And then let's see, you got your view and other stuff for menus here, an OK button in the middle, go through the menus there, up and down here. This is actually steering wheel heat right here. And then on this right, that's the tracks, so audio, either audio tracks or favorites or channels, depending on how you have this, what's going on that screen over there. So we'll go through these. I'll show you what they do when we go through that up there right after we look at this. This is your basic windshield wash wiper and such. So pull it towards you to squirt the windows, push it back to squirt the rear glass, up and down to control that, and then up here to set sensitivity. And then you can just see, maybe right here you can see that you can turn on the rear like that, and that leaves it on, and then you push it further to make it squirt. So that's how this works. Now let's look at this. I think I can get the whole thing in one shot. All right, more or less. So this is kind of the basic screen. This is pretty much factory default, basically. So your speedometer right there in the middle. Over there on the right, it's telling us that there's no route guidance. You can change that and have things like your whatever's playing on your audio in there, whatever else you want, more or less. And then over here is the vehicle status. This changes according to what you want. So right now it's showing oil temperature. You can change that to be water coolant temperature. You can change it to be what's happening with the all-wheel drive system, whatever. All-wheel drive is optional on this. It is not standard on this particular one. And then up here, maybe you can see it where my finger is. I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not, but yeah, if I pointed at it, maybe you could see it. Anyway, you can see the time and all of that over there. And then down here is your water heat. That's pretty much always there. I don't think you can change it. And then some other information, gearing and so on and so forth. Your cruise setting will show right there. And then over here, you can see I don't have a seatbelt on because we're parked and I'm just talking. And then you can see fuel and so on. So all that down there. Now, to change what's going on the screen, we go to those things that I showed you on the right hand of the steering wheel, and you can see, boom, now we can go to, say, audio or destination info or a compass. I like compasses. So there you go, now we got a compass. That's more or less what you're doing when you're on that screen. So let me show you one difference. So you can see I'm doing stuff on the left-hand screen. Let's say I want to show fuel economy. Why not? So I go to that and it shows fuel economy. My fuel economy has been terrible because almost all my driving has been in the city because we've had horrible weather this week. I did that by using this side. So the left side one does the left side over there. Right side one does the right side over there. Pretty simple and super awesome. So I really like that setup. Easy to use, fast, and you don't have to look away from the road very much to use it. Hey, you should wear glasses while doing math. It improves division. Infotainment. So this is basically your menu. If you push this over here, you end up here. I did a short Bluetooth for this to show you how to hook up a Bluetooth. I've been doing that in manufacturers' vehicles over the year. So this was I believe my first time doing a Volkswagen one for 2025, but it hasn't changed from 24. It's all the same, but you can see a lot of stuff in here, and then you can see there's a second menu over here. Use this if you first get in the car, you first own it. Use that to just set up some basic stuff, and then after that, most of this is pretty easy, and it's a pretty fast and responsive system. I really like it. You have quick buttons for stuff like radio. That's where I'm at most of the time. So you can see, like, go to liquid metal here, and then you can change the stations up here. You can have your favorites in here. I haven't really set any favorites. I usually do, but I hadn't done that. And then you can see when your finger gets close to it, this is a Volkswagen thing, that it pops up extra menus. That's super useful. So, you know, little things. It's basically just expanding that bottom list, and then sometimes there'll be a top list that does the same thing. And then you can see all the connectivity and the time and everything else up here. So my phone is Bluetoothed right here. You can see the battery state of it and the connection that it has to its network, and the outside temperature over there on the right. So yeah, that's basically the infotainment. Going below that, you see a couple more vents. Here's your Duke's lights for when you're in a hazard. And below that are some hard buttons. Oh, I forgot to point out, knobs. Look at that, tuning and audio knobs. Sweet. And then if you push this, turns this off. Yeah, and then you can decide what you want on the screen. So I actually prefer the analog clock with no numbers on it, but I don't think they have one that I recall. There it is. All right, so there you go. And then down here, back to what we were doing. Bun warmers here, defrosts, other stuff, other bun warmers. You can see what's going on. Down here, this is where your settings would be. So if I turn on the climate, I can turn it up and down right there, and then I turned it off with that, so it's not blowing into the mic. But there you go. That's kind of how this works. Your fan control and so on, they're just touch sensitive. That's it. Pretty easy to use. Down under here, you can see some USB-Cs right here. This is, if I can get it to open, it's hard to get your finger in there because I got big friggin' meat hook hands. There we go. That's a 12-volt plug right there. You see that? And then a little storage right here. This is rubberized, so you could put a phone or anything else right here. I don't usually drop my phone in here, but that's really what it's meant for. This does not have wireless charging in it, but I believe it is an option if you were to go up in packages. Now we look right here. Here's your start stop button there, shifter right here, parking brake here, you pull to set, push to release, empty buttons, auto stop start here, you can turn it off. Here's your parking radars on and off, so if you go through like an automated car wash, you can shut them off there. And here's your drive controls. So the shifter works the way you would expect it to, right? So you go down to drive, and then you can shift over and go up and down to manually shift. If you really want to, I don't know why, but and then right here is your drive mode control. So this week I've been using snow mode a lot. You can also use, that's regular driving, that's where it will default every time. This is off-road and then more off-road. It's really, this is like personalized off-road. This is really optimistic about being off-road. And then the middle thing, you push it up and down and that will force the setting, but normally when you turn it, it will do it on its own anyway. And then I'm going to show you the screen. So we're on right here. Whoops. Go over to snow mode. It does that. You go to regular mode. It goes there. So from regular mode, by the way, you can push that middle button and set up a custom mode. And then here is off-road, and here is off-road custom. So there you go. That's what it shows on the screen when you're fiddling with this. Now over here, here's some drink holders, and here's this. I've been setting my phone here a lot. I don't usually have a drink in the car, but if I do, then I'll put my phone up there, but most of the time I like it right here, just face up towards me. It's just more convenient. So there's that, and then your center cubby. So there's no latch or anything. Whoops, there's no latch or anything, and then you can see it's really deep, and it kind of goes forward. So down under here, let me drop this backward. Down under here, it goes forward just a little bit, so you can put slightly larger things in there, and you get, I'm going to say maybe 2 inches of extra down on the very bottom. Yeah, that's basically it. That's all your storage in the middle of this. It's like 2 monster cans worth. But the interior is beauty. I really like this and this. These are a great combo, having these two together. And then this is a great contrast to break up the black and the whatever, because there's black pretty much everywhere, but then you have this kind of breaking it, and then these two really go together really nicely to soften this up, especially because this is very hard plastic. So yeah, just a nice look. I love the seating in this. It's a combination of faux leather and this kind of corduroy feeling, or not corduroy, what's the other word? I don't know, denim feeling cloth right here on the bolsters. Bolstering is beautiful in this car, and yeah, just a nicely done. Back seat is, I've had 3 kids across back there without a big issue, so really nice back seats. And then I'll show you a picture of the cargo area. So overall, really nicely done. This is the Volkswagen Taos. It's very basic, so it's not a performance vehicle. It's not a, this is the all-wheel drive model, the 4Motion, but you can get front-wheel drive only. So it's not a complex vehicle. It is not a fast vehicle. It is not a large vehicle, any of that stuff. Really, it's a basic, good getting around vehicle. Drives really well, does really well in the snow. I learned that this week. So yeah, overall a great vehicle, and one of Volkswagen's more affordable models in terms of SUVs and stuff. So nicely done. Yeah, it's just a regular mainstream, well done vehicle. So that's what I got. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.